Coming up on today's Cowboys Report, what's the latest on Travis Frederick? He recently spoke publicly. Is he still planning on coming back to the Cowboys in 2019? Speaking of offense, is it in the best interest of the Dallas Cowboys to make Dak Prescott wait for a new deal? Maybe if you don't believe in him, but if you do, there's a very good monetary reason to pay Dak right now. And then for free agency, what are the chances of an Earl Thomas signing? Could the Cowboys bring in the safety that they've been tied to for so long? All that and more coming up right now. Hello friends, welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey, here to break down all of the latest Cowboys rumors, and we'll start things off, as promised, with Travis Frederick, and will he be back on the Cowboys in 2019? I'll give this one 3 stars, as we have before. The new item here is that Travis Frederick came out and talked a little bit about what's going on with his Guillain-Barré syndrome, and he once again said he expects to be back for the offseason program in that March or April timeframe. Still says he's missing a little bit of strength and a little bit of explosion, but that's a far cry from where he was way back when this first started, when he had numbness in his toes and also couldn't feel the football as he was gripping it to snap it. The Cowboys and Frederick, they remain confident that he will be back in 2019. Here's the quote for Frederick, and he's, again, very happy with the way he's been improving there. He thinks he's going to be at full strength and ready to go in March or April, and also kind of mentioned how it's a neurological type thing there. It makes some sense that, or neuromuscular type thing. Makes some sense that the strength and a little bit of that explosion would be the last thing to come back, but he is tracking towards a return to the Cowboys in 2019. I think that will be a big boost as well to the Cowboys offensive line. And Joe Looney, look, he fared well with Frederick out, at least as well as could be expected, but he's not the best center in the NFL. That's Travis Frederick. Getting him back is a boost to La'el Collins, getting Martin healthy, all that sudden, that offensive line, maybe they can look more like the elite unit we expect them to be, which frankly, they just were not in 2018. So Frederick should be able to come back. Now, we know the Cowboys Report is not possible without you guys watching, so I'm going to shout out some of our most recent Cowboys Report subscribers: RC Anderson, Lazaro, Johnny, Royal, Energy R Us, which I think is a nice little joke there on Toys R Us, and Jordan Ballantine as well. Thank you all who have subscribed, and if you're watching for the first time and you haven't already, well, hit that big red button, youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. If you're watching on Facebook, maybe you'll get a shout out on the show as well. And we do plenty of fan-led content like fan rumors, mailbags, and live Q&A. Some more Cowboys rumors. Could the Cowboys take on the Miami Dolphins on Thanksgiving? Not official yet, but it is 3 stars, so that's the report from Sports Business Daily, and kind of makes some sense, right? Now, the Cowboys are set to play the Miami Dolphins on Thanksgiving, which, by the way, would be the Dolphins' 6th time they've played the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Go figure, right? Now, the reasoning and the rationale why here is that, A, there's some history involved, right? You guys, at least if you're old enough, or at least can have YouTube accessible, you guys remember the Leon Lett game, right? The fumble and all that. The Cowboys, of course, were fine that year, so it didn't really matter all that much. But it's the NFL's 100th anniversary. I think they're angling for some of the historical type stuff. That's why Bears-Lions could once again play on Thanksgiving this year in the other locked-in game. Last 5 times the Cowboys have played the Dolphins, pretty darn good, and given the way Miami might blow it up this year, I feel pretty good about that matchup for the Cowboys if they do face off on Thanksgiving. Regardless, they'll play the Dolphins at some point in 2019. Next up, has Ezekiel Elliott earned a new deal? There's more truth than not to this. I'll give it 3 stars and also break down why it's not 4 stars, at least not for me. I know it is 4 stars for LaDainian Tomlinson, who says he thinks Zeke has earned a new deal with his play. And I'm not here to say that Zeke's over it or anything. He's not. There's no doubt that Elliott has been fantastic in his time with the Dallas Cowboys. He's also under contract through the 2020 season. Here's my issue with LaDainian Tomlinson's explanation. He says that Zeke's earned a new contract. People talk about projections and how many more years he can be productive. It's not about that. It's about what the guy has earned. Well, here's the thing, LT. It is about the projections and what Zeke can do long term. That's the way NFL contracts work. I wish it were differently, but the way the NFL works is they pay you for what you think that you are going to do over the rest of that new contract, not what you've done in the past. That's why you can see young players get extensions, why older players don't. It's not about what you've done. It's about what do we think you're going to do for us going forward. Now, in terms of what that new deal could look like for Zeke, obviously Todd Gurley is the benchmark right now. A big fat contract, a lot of guaranteed money, and then also kind of partially got benched by C.J. Anderson. I don't really know what happened in the playoff run there for the Rams. He's the highest paid back, both in guaranteed and per year. You saw Zeke among the guaranteeds. He probably wants a Todd Gurley type contract. That's a lot to pay for a halfback, no matter who it is. I mean, look at those five guys up there. Todd Gurley didn't play great in the playoffs, which is not an excuse necessarily, but we know he's great. David Johnson had a bit of a down year. Devonta Freeman was hurt all year. LaShawn McCoy banged up as well. And the NFL contract market for backs is so broken. Saquon Barkley's number 5. A rookie. That's not ever supposed to happen with the way the rookie contract scale is set up. So you see the per year numbers there. What would you guys pay Zeke per season? Let me know in the comments section. Feel free to DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney, because I am of the mindset that running backs, not across the board, but in general, are much more replaceable than almost any other position in the NFL. We'll get to some more rumors here, but first, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. What that means is you put down $50 and they're going to give you $60 for free. Put down $100 and that bonus becomes $120. There are some great futures bets right now for the NFL. You can bet on the AAF, believe it or not, and of course NBA, and in the near future, baseball. Maybe they'll have finally signed, or a team will finally signed Bryce Harper. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys120 gets you that bonus. Get to some more Cowboys rumors here, folks, as I am Tom Downey here. Next up, should the Cowboys make Dak play out the final year of his contract? I'll give this one 2 stars, and I lean more towards no, but there is a reason to do it, and I promise you guys right now, I've mentioned this before, the sticker shock on a Dak Prescott extension will be real. It's going to be a lot of money. Now, waiting makes sense if you don't actually believe in Dak Prescott. If you don't think Dak Prescott is a legit franchise quarterback, if you don't think he's top 15, then wait and try to keep your options open. Now, the Cowboys do think he's a franchise quarterback, and frankly, you have a tough time finding quarterbacks who put up this good of numbers over the first 3 years of his career and won 2 divisional titles. It's a good play there from Dak Prescott. No, he's not perfect. Yes, he still needs improvement, but he's a pretty solid NFL quarterback as far as I'm concerned. And that gets quarterbacks paid. I mean, look at the difference between, let's just say, 15 to 25. It's a massive drop-off. Now, if you want to wait on Dak, it's because you don't believe in him. But if you do, you pay him now, because there are a lot of reasons behind it, namely monetary reasons. You pay Dak Prescott now, you save money, you can spread out the cap hit. It makes more sense to save money long-term to pay Dak Prescott right now. Plus, we know quarterback contracts keep going up, the salary cap keeps going up, it's going to be more expensive. But let me know in the comments section, what should the Cowboys do with Dak? Type P for pay now and type W for wait. Now, later on this week, I will have a full in-depth breakdown of a Dak Prescott contract extension. So if you want to, be alerted, if you want to watch that video, subscribe youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. Turn on notifications as well. You'll be notified instantly once that video is up. We do all kinds of great stuff here. Thanks to everyone who has already subscribed. That is youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. All right, next up here, we'll stick with the quarterback discussions. Do the Cowboys have the best NFC East quarterback situation? I'll give it 3 stars. It's not quite 4 for me. I think you can make an argument for one team in particular. But if you look at where things sit right now, not where they sat last year, not where they might sit in 3 years, right this second, it makes some sense. The Cowboys have a healthy and young quarterback. For the most part, the other NFC East teams are dealing with either injuries and or age. The Eagles, as far as I'm concerned, are the only other team you can argue are in a better spot than the Cowboys potentially. And even the Eagles, because of Carson Wentz's injury, there's some doubt there. I like Carson Wentz a lot. I think he's an immensely talented quarterback. But 2 straight years now, his season has been ended by injury. He's only played 3. That's reason to be concerned there. Nick Foles no longer counts for Philadelphia. Nate Sudfeld is a restricted free agent. I kind of think he'll be back, but what happens in 2 years? Maybe things end up leaving there. The Giants, meanwhile, Eli Manning's not good anymore. Alex Tanney's good for trick shots. Kyle Lauletta is not a good quarterback either. And then the Redskins are a complete mess right now at quarterback. They have one of the worst spots in the NFL as far as I'm concerned. Alex Smith probably won't play in 2019. Might not ever play again, unfortunately. That leaves you with Colt McCoy, Josh Johnson, and Mark Sanchez. You got 3 backups at best right there. That's not what you want. So I give it 3 stars there. I do think the Cowboys, among the NFC East teams, they kind of have the best position right now for quarterbacks. If you guys like what I'm wearing, it is a mizzen and a main shirt. It makes me just passable enough for the guys behind the scenes to let me go on air. So go check it out, comfortable.af. You guys are not going to find a more comfortable shirt, dress or otherwise, than a mizzen and main one. All right, folks, we'll take you through some more Cowboys rumors. The last one for today. How about a $10 million deal for Earl Thomas? First up, sign me up for this one. I'll give it 2 stars, though, because I feel like ET can get more on the open market. Now, ESPN projected a 4-year, $40 million deal for the Cowboys and Earl Thomas. That is a below-market deal for ET. For reference here, when he signed his extension back in 2014, that's the exact same deal he got. And the salary cap has gone up by almost 2%. So to get him at the same deal, that's a below-market contract. Now, I know the injury is a big red flag there for Earl Thomas, and understandably so, but we know how good he is. It is really tough to find true single-high free safeties that can cover and can be roamers and can make plays on the ball. Earl Thomas is one of those few guys. So if you get him for $3 million less, I think really $4 million less than what I think he's going to ask for, that's a good deal right there. That is a very strong deal for Earl Thomas and for the Cowboys. That's why it's only 2 stars. Sign me up for it. I love the idea. I just have a bit of a difficult time seeing the Cowboys and seeing Earl Thomas work out a deal that allows them to get a contract of that little amount for ET. I feel like he's going to ask for more money, and he's made it clear he wants to be paid. Maybe the Cowboys can find a way to make it work, though. So if you're the Cowboys, you're the GM, you're Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, and Will McClay, all merged into one, what would you offer Earl Thomas per year? I'm down for 11. Beyond that, I think it gets a little bit too expensive. Sign me up for 10. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section.